huge congratulations for this win, guys. Our chances of victory were virtually nil. This is an outstanding performance. You beat all the favorites. We hit the ground running, and tomorrow we'll have the honor of defending the yellow jersey.
Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to the Tour de France 2020 Pro Team playthrough with the TIJ Racing Team. Today it is time for part number 5 of the series and the second stage of the Breizh Cup. As you can see, last time out we won our first ever stage since we formed the TIJ Racing Team. Ben Swift, brilliantly I have to say, won that final sprint. I didn't think we had any sort of chance and manages to A, get the yellow jersey, B, he also picks up the green jersey for now, and C, he gets a 10-second time bonus on the rest of the field. The rest of our guys also did well as well. As you can see, all of our guys in the top 128, all finishing in that mass sprint. So very happy there. The only negative, if there is to be a negative, is that there was an objective for John Dibben to get inside the top 20, and he couldn't do that. But apart from that, a very good day and very much above what my expectations would be. So as you can see, the general classification puts Ben Swift 4 seconds ahead of Nizzolo, and today we go into stage number 2. As you can see, we also picked up some points for the pro cycling rankings. Breizh stays in 57th, but as you can see, Ben Swift picks up 17 pro cycling points, and that'll make all the difference to increasing our ranking. If you didn't know, and this is your first episode watching potentially of the Pro Team series, we can only take part in the small trophies this year, the small tours. That's why we have such a low number of points, and really makes it that much more important that when we do get a chance to shine, we really do. So 17 points picked up there. Every little helps, and we are 30 points away from Team Sunweb in 21st place. So today we move on to stage number 2. As you can see, we won the stage and took a leader's jersey, so a big plus there. All of our guys recovered well, which is nice to see. And this is stage number 2.
Today is a tiring route, where the closing kilometres should suit the punches. Considering that we're top of the general classification, we'll have to set the pace at the front of the peloton. Keep something in reserve in order to answer attacks, because we don't have a huge lead. We're not amongst the favourites for the stage, but there are ways to surprise the favourites and pull off a good result by attacking from far out. Good race to you all!
Demat Dunhall. For this 100% Breton stage, the teams of the favourites should grab the race by its horns up to the foot of the Mur de Bretagne climb. The leaders can then fight it out among themselves for the stage win.
Here we are then, folks. Stage number 2 of the Breizh Cup. And there's quite an expectation on us today, really. We are expected to retain the lead of the general classification with Ben Swift, no surprise there. And also to finish in the first 20 of the stage with both Marcus Holmes and with Daya Quintana as well. But there's also an expectation to be part of today's breakaway with John Dibben and with Michael Breizh. But not the most interesting stage today, so I will take the advice of what somebody said in the comments, and it's a very good point. We will do stages number 2 and 3 today. So on reflection, perhaps we should have done stages 1 and 2 in unison and then done stage number 3 in another video. But we'll do stage 2 first today and then also do stage 3. So a fairly uncomplicated stage, 2 sprints and 2 climbs. As you can see, Ben Swift looking really nice in that yellow jersey. We're going to take control of Dibben for now. Just thought it'd be nice to go with somebody else rather than Breizh. And we will tell him to follow attacks. We'll get somebody else to defend our yellow jersey man Swift, because Breizh was there at first. And we'll try and get in a breakaway. We'll wait for any attacks to come. And Van der Horn has already gone. Rather annoyingly, we're being blocked a little bit here. So we're going to follow those attacks. Keep Ben Swift inside the peloton. No need to attack just yet. But as you heard in the team briefing, there's definitely an expectation. I think we need to get on to Breizh now because he's not really listening.
Okay, I'll protect him.
Dibben's made a break and he'll catch up, but it's important for Breizh to get up there. So that's what we'll do. As you can see, Dibben not too far off the lead group. I think Dibben's definitely a stronger rider than Breizh. No doubt about that. So the breakaway is full of 5 riders, it seems. We've got Van der Horn, who's 4th in the points classification. Also has a point in the mountains classification. But really, there's not really much to discuss for these top 5 at the moment. But to be fair, there's only been one stage, so you can't really say too much. Just put a little bit more pace in with Breizh. And hopefully, over time, we'll catch up to the leaders. We'll go back on board with Dibben. But, goodness me, Williams has lost a bit of red entry. I don't particularly know why that is. But, yeah, we've got quite a way to go to the first sprint. And I'll see you guys when we get there. Well, the peloton is back together momentarily. As you can see, 2 new riders have started to break. And I think it might be a chance for Breizh to try and get a bit of a breakaway going here. When he gets to the front of the group. Just couldn't consistently get that breakaway, unfortunately. The peloton never really give up. So we've got some good energy with Breizh. It's worth trying to make a bit of a break here. Dibben really struggled, to be honest, earlier, so that's why he's not coming with us. He hasn't got much energy left. As you can see, Breizh had quite a bit in the bank. So we've been able to break away from the peloton slightly, but it's certainly not giving up. We've only been able to break away by 10 seconds. And it doesn't seem like the breakaway riders particularly want to work with us at the moment, which is understandable because there's only a small gap back to the peloton, so it seems silly to slow up and potentially ruin any chance of a breakaway. But I think, as you can see, once again, it's very tricky to get any sort of break here. Well, there is now a breakaway that has certainly got a good gap. 2 separate guys, so you would think it definitely won't succeed. We've got Seneschat at the front of the field, and Roland, who has took the lead of the standings for the moment, but it's actually must be Seneschat who has took the lead in the rankings, but take that with a pinch of salt. I don't think that really they're going to get it, because it's 2 separate guys. It's very tricky when you're on the breakaway by yourself, but really they're going for the points classification. We would have probably gone for it a little bit more if there were more guys in that breakaway, but as you can see, there's 15 points available for third here, so not worth exerting yourself too much for. Of course, if you remember, as well as the these rankings for Ben Swift, this classification, we actually have got the green jersey as well with him. So it would be good to go for some points here. We'll also get everybody else to attack. Put in a good tempo. Let's try and get to the front of the field, as you can see. I mean, Rowlands is starting to struggle already. I think he'll be okay still for third. I don't think we'll catch him that quickly, but you might be surprised. With about 1.5 kilometres to go now, we will tell, not Swift, but we'll tell the rest of our guys to attack, to put them in a good place. End of the day, it's good to go for some points in these sprints. More to get everybody else out of the way, to be honest, and take points off them. But we've got 1 kilometre to go. Swift is a pretty good sprint, but as you can see, everybody else seems to have beaten him. Rowlands is blown up, though, unfortunately for him. And we haven't got the most energy left here. We've mistimed this just slightly, but we should be well placed. Should finish off in 6th here. God, a lot of guys struggled at the end there. Just fast forward slightly to when everybody gets up to there. Holmes got 8 points. Excellent. So I like to see. Get them to persist without limit now. Rowland's 5 in the end, so even though he got a good breakaway, that finished it for him. And yeah, Dibben got, I think, was it 8 points? Swift got 10. And as you can see, we actually put such a good turn of pace in that we actually caught Seneschat. He didn't really have to put much pace in though there, did he, to be fair. But a good sprint. Another 10 points to the points classification. We've got a good lead on everyone, I think, in that classification at the moment, if I remember rightly. But very positive. Very, very positive. Happy with that. We're just going to tell everyone to follow again. No need to overtire, particularly after that sprint. We'll use our feed, of course, on the next climb. It's a very small climb, though. And then, yeah, I'll see you guys, or even when we get to the next climb, depending on how many there is in the breakaway, and if there is indeed a breakaway. And then, of course, for the second sprint of the day. So no need to go for it really here. Roosen has got a breakaway. He's not got any points in the mountains classification yet. And we'll just consume all of our feed with our guys. Obviously, we have got a feed coming up. As you can see, Roosen gets the only point available there in the mountains classification. And as you can see, we'll get a feed fairly soon. And then it's a flat stage up to that second sprint. But our guys in a good condition so far. Just tell them to follow and not overtire. But I'll see you guys when we get to that sprint. So here we have the second sprint coming up. That breakaway has increased to not just Janssen, but Stymie's in there as well. But once again, 15 points available on this sprint. Just put in a good turn of pace. We were caught out a little bit earlier, so we'll have to keep a watch for that.
The breakaway is 3 kilometers from the intermediate sprint.
I have told 2 of our guys to follow any attacks. But ultimately, the only attack that will be is at the start of the sprint. So getting Swift nicely placed. Not a demanding stage at all, to be honest, really, apart from maybe that final climb. So no need to consume our feed here. Just try and get well placed. Give ourselves the best chance here. Tell our guys to put in 100% pace. Just to move up a little bit. And then also to attack with about 1.3 kilometres to go. But if these two blow up, there is a chance that the full 20 points could be on the cards for someone here who wants them. A little bit uphill though, interestingly here. That'll change the complexion of the sprint, I would think, a little. Going to leave it till 0.9 to go this time. Just leave it a little bit longer. Out the way, everyone. Swifty's a good sprinter, I have to say. Just need to make sure we use that energy right this time. Make a big push before the end now. It's going to be 6th again, but that's okay for the moment. That is okay. Where does everybody else get? Quintana picks up 8 points. Nice. Anybody else picking up anything there? Oh, Breizh's been dropped. Oh, dear. I think we should take that with a pinch of salt, though. I think we should be okay. So, Quintana picks up 8 points. 10 points for Swift. That's really positive stuff. Really happy with that. Good stuff. So, we've got the final climb of the day coming up. We've got a full feed. It's said that somebody else has, Breizh has lost pace. But I'll take that with a pinch of salt. It's just because the peloton is quite wide, I think. So a very uneventful stage, and we now come into the last 10 kilometres. Of course, there are points available here. And also a few points for the mountains classification. So points for the green jersey, the sprinting classification, and the climbing classification as well. The whole peloton together, though. And quite a quick climb. Be good to get a little bit better in terms of placing for Ben Swift here. He's our main man ultimately because he has got the yellow jersey. Be very surprised if he lost that today. I can't see him finishing 10 seconds or, well, 10 seconds behind the winner. I can't see any of them who finished 2nd and 3rd last time out actually winning the stage. Of course, they got 4 and 6 second gaps respectively. And we'll also put get our other guys to put in a good turn of pace as well, because you never know. That's a good point actually. We will get, who's good in the mountains? Just trying to think now. Let's have a look. My team. Who's good in the mountains? So we've got Quintana. Quintana really is our main man, but Williams as well. So we'll tell Quintana and Williams to follow any shock attacks. I don't think that there will be any, but if there is any, we can certainly cover that by going with those two. But it seems our guys are fairly well placed. I can see Dibben just ahead. And a few of our other guys as well. So it'll be quite a short climb really, this. Just got to keep in there and watch out for any shock attacks. But the 3rd stage will be far more interesting than this. So 5 kilometres to go now. Obviously make sure we take our feed. Which we'll do right about now. No, we'll wait a kilometre actually. Tell our guys to put in a good turn of pace. Maybe 80%. Again, I know somebody commented and it's absolutely right. That I've got no idea what any of the pace settings are. I'm just going for what everybody else is doing. They're going for 100%. So I think we might listen to that and go for that instead. So we're near the front, which is always good. Well placed here. So 3.9 kilometres to go. We'll tell everyone to take their red gel at this point. First time I've actually called it red gel. I tend to call it pink gel. So I've got that right for once. Helps if you take it with Ben Swift as well, doesn't it? Van der Horn being left behind, that's a shock. That's a real shock. Goodness me. Really short climb though, this. Really short. So Ben Swift has consumed his feed. You can see Dibben is just there. It's great to see. Everyone's just consumed their blue gel just before the end. Again, it's not the most demanding of climbs particularly. But Dibben's there. Nicely placed. Interesting that Van der Horn's been left behind though. That is interesting. I tell you what, they are going for it here. We haven't reacted very well. I know Dibben's up there, which is good to see. Positive. We'll get all of our guys to attack now. Including Dibben. He's out of red energy though. So he might struggle come the end here. Quite a steep climb actually. But the steepness does decrease very quickly here. Dibben's going to blow up before the end. He just pushed a little bit too hard there. Oh well. Right, 1 kilometre line coming up. Really just got to take the suffering for this little more longer. Just slow down a little, leave a bit in reserve. Everybody's going to be knackered. It's the same for everyone. Come on, Swift. Okay, we've used a little bit of our energy. I think Velens is going to win the stage. Just got to use our energy the best we can. Everyone to attack. Even Dibben. Can we finish above anybody else? Wellens wins the stage, and we come across the line in 4th. I'll take that. Wellens did well, though, there. And I think everybody else in the peloton, so more than happy with that. Van der Horn completely crushed his hopes, though. He was in the breakaway at first, and that's interesting to see. I think we should still have the yellow jersey, though. Don't quite think it was a 10-second gap. It might have been, but we'll find out. But it is Wellens who wins stage number 2. So, here he is, the stage winner. I didn't realise how steep that climb was. If I'd realised that, I'd have probably put better things in place. And it is indeed Wellens who takes the lead of the general classification. So caught napping a little bit there, although I think the gap will probably only be a few seconds going to that final stage. We still do have the points classification, though, which is the most important for us, really. And then the mountains classification, Wellens has got that as well. And McNulty, for the Emirates team, has got the young rider classification tied up at the moment.
Well done, lads. You rode a very good stage today. Finishing in the top 5, even though the stage didn't suit us, is extremely satisfying. We lost the yellow jersey. It's today's source of disappointment.
Ah, well, can't do too much about that. Good to see that Dibben finished inside the first 10 seconds. Would have been great to finish in the top 3, though, to get that time boost. Holmes in there as well, same as Breizh. Quintana and Williams a little while back, which is a little bit of a shock, given that they are supposedly our best mountain riders. Points classification, we took another 33 today, looking really good in that classification once again. And yeah, this is really positive, really good to see. So let's have a look how that affects things overall. We are 10 seconds behind Wellens, so perhaps he was, well, must have been in that first 3. In fact, no, he can't have been. I don't know how he's gained that. Of course, he finished 10 seconds ahead and got the 10-second time bonus. I forgot about that. So he moves up 35 place to take the yellow jersey for the moment, but we are still in 2nd place. That has definitely shook the field a little bit. As you can see, John Dibben moves up 106 place to 22nd. Holmes moves up 59 places to 27th. Breizh up 73 to 31st. Quintana up 62 to 38th. And Williams up 55 to 66th. So it's fair to say a good stage for us. Points classification, we have a really strong lead. 45 points, so it'll be tough for anybody to take the points jersey off Ben Swift. And in the young rider classification, we've got riders in 3rd and in 5th. Happy with that. And we're also 3rd in the team classification. Excellent stuff. And without any further ado, just check how we're getting on. We've got Swift some more points, 10 more points for the Pro Cycling ranking, which puts us a little bit close to Team Sunweb, but rather annoyingly, they pick up another 15 points. But at least we keep in touch with them. And now, of course, we have got the final stage of the Breizh Cup.
It's the final stage, guys. Today's route is hilly and a leg breaker. Perfect for attacking, which should suit the punchers. We'll have to keep awake for the points classification. There are enough points at stake for us to lose first place. Be on your guard. The team members of the favourites will probably manage the time gaps in order to fight for victory on the final climb. You'll have to do your utmost to avoid breaks so as not to lose time on the general classification. Good race to you all!
Demat done whole. The Breton roads will put the peloton under severe pressure. The many short climbs and the narrow roads will require unflagging attention in order not to be caught off guard by the most audacious, who will find them ideal terrain to go on the attack.
This looks like a very strange stage, very unorthodox. I mean, look at the amount of climbs we have there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. By the way, hello everyone and welcome to stage number 3. Objectives then today, to retain the lead of the points classification with Ben Swift. I think we can do that. And also to finish the top 15 of the stage with this man. Of course, Quintana is our best climber, theoretically. But he's not too comfortable on the cobblestone. Neither is anybody, to be honest. As was said in the write-up for this stage. But there is a bit of a breakaway going on, so we're going to try and get into that with Quintana. Could prove pivotal if there's a breakaway with so many climbs, obviously. But there's only 10 kilometres to go to this first intermediate sprint. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Oh dear, we nearly hit the wall there. Don't know how we stayed on the bike, but we managed to. I can't see this breakaway working particularly, but I guess you never know. Putting a good turn of pace to catch up to them.
Watch out. You'll soon have no more energy.
So who's in this breakaway? We've got Van Baal for Ineos. None of them really competing for any classification themselves. Valet, Delaplace, and Lightheart as well. So we'll get tucked in the front of that little break, work with our opponents, and go back to Ben Swift for that first sprint of the day. So here we go then for the first sprint of the day. We're not well placed with Ben Swift actually here. That could be a spot of bother. Need to get a little bit further up. Nice seam in his green jersey. Of course, he's lost the yellow jersey.
Breakaway is 3 kilometers from the intermediate.
But I don't think there's anybody in the breakaway apart from Janssen who's really competitive for the intermediate sprint. So that's good to see. Get all of our guys to put a pace of 100% in. But obviously if there are guys in the breakaway that are getting more points and they're not competitive for the sprinting category, well that just helps us out. Obviously takes points away from anybody else who's trying to catch us, but it'd still be good to get some points ourselves. Not really getting highly placed. We need to sort that out fairly quickly as we come up to the near 1 kilometre line. I think we're going to struggle here, you know. Yeah. Well, we'll tell our guys to attack and then go with Swift as well.
Okay.
Come on, Swift. You need to move up a bit, son. I mean, we're going for it.
The breakaway riders are increasing the gap.
Here we go.
They are not dangerous for the overall step.
Come on, Swift. Come on. Big push now. Many points as possible. 5th. Over the line. It's... Oh, only 5th. So close, but... credit to our guys. I mean, Quintana got 3rd, Swift 5th, Dibben 6th, Breizh 7th, Holmes 8th. We'll have to see how the rest of our guys get on. But brilliant from all of our guys. We'll just tell them to follow them and don't overtire. Obviously seems silly to push too much, but good stuff. We've took points off pretty much all of our rivals there. Really positive stuff. Just seeing who are our rivals in that classification. We've got Nizzolo. I think he might have scored a few points. But ultimately, we scored more points than him. So a big thumbs up there. Not going to threaten any sort of pace. Not really going for the mountains classification this time. But at the same time, we can definitely try. It's not all over yet. There were only, 3 points available in those first two stages. So if we want to make an attack for that best climber classification, there's certainly a chance to today. Well, not much we can do really at the moment on these first few climbs at least. There's 2 guys in the breakaway. Hollenstein and... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. So obviously only points available for those 2 guys in the breakaway. We're just telling our guys to follow and not overtire, which is a strategy I think that is working at the moment. Our guys got good energy. I mean, it's a while until we get any sort of feed, so it's important not to overexert. And those 2 guys take the first 2 points on the first climb of the day. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do a lot about the mountains classification today. There are 2 guys in the breakaway. And because these are only 3rd or 4th class climbs, there's no chance for anybody else apart from those 2 to get any points. So it's really a race between the 2 at the front for the mountains classification. So we're going to lose that this time. It's a shame because we usually go for the best climb and I enjoy going for it. But at the same token, we still have a chance at the green jersey and at the yellow jersey as well. Seems like we've been caught napping a little bit by the peloton. And we are following, not overtiring. Well, I expect those guys to keep a decent pace. So we'll keep an eye on that, but I think it should go over time. But I am a bit worried about this, actually. I mean, why is Swift that far back? Well, I'm going to get him to try and catch here, because this is a concern. We don't want to be left behind. It's very easy to be left behind. Just been caught napping a little bit there. Use some of our energy to catch up. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. They've just been split and it wasn't particularly a tough climb. So not sure really what happened there. I would expect it all to stabilise shortly. But just in case it doesn't, it's certainly worth putting in a good turn of pace here. As you can see, nothing to worry about. Just the peloton's so drawn out that actually there's a minute gap. All of our guys looking fine in terms of the feed though. Valens is no longer the leader of the general classification. Surprise, surprise. Breizh is actually struggling, so we'll just tell him to persist smoothly. No need to be too aggressive. And there's the peloton just ahead, so we haven't got to worry too much at all. I'm really astonished that this has happened. It almost happened in the blink of an eye. Now, I told my guys to follow and not over-tyre, but that's because I expected the peloton to stay where it was. So we've been caught napping really here, which is a real disappointment. I mean, our lead two are in there, so they're okay. Holmes and Quintana. Breizh's a little bit out of it, and so is Dibben and Williams. So hopefully this will stabilise. I can imagine it probably will, but it's a minute's gap to the peloton. I think that's a little bit of a concern. Well, we've got 4 guys in that secondary group, which are about a minute behind the peloton at the moment. So a real shock. But if we look at the classification, generally anyway, we've still got a chance. I mean, the annoying thing is that Holmes and Quintana are in this front group. 2 of the guys who aren't really going for the general classification. But there's a few chances to get some points here for the climbing classification. So you never know, we could still put up a good fight for this. And Quintana's our best puncher in the mountains. So certainly worth going for this. Still puzzled that we managed to slip away. Should be okay though. We'll keep an eye on our guys. Looking okay certainly in terms of energy. Yeah, I could be wrong. We might not catch up before the end of the stage. But it's a minute to the peloton. There's a good group of 35. They've just caught up to the next group. So I don't think there's a massive issue. Could be wrong though. Could be wrong. Particularly with this next climb coming up. It's hardly a bloody breakaway, is it? That's an exaggeration. But a good turn of pace here. We've got a good amount of energy with Quintana. So we might as well. This is tough though. As you can see, the peloton is 2 minutes behind now. Tell Holmes to attack here. Put in a good amount of tempo. I mean, Breizh has run out of red energy. How many more climbs have we got? We should be okay. Might have to take some of his feed. Don't want to take all of it, but the most important thing at the moment is focusing on this this climb. As you can see, the whole field getting spread out here, so it's a chance if Quintana is there. And with half a kilometre to go, we might as well go for it. No point going too early, though. No point beating everyone by too much. But Quintana's looking good here. Looking really good for these 2 points. Got a good gap to everyone here. No need to attack too much. And we've picked up 2 points on that mountain pass. So, Holmes is okay. Yeah, everyone's okay, I think. Just obviously being gapped a little bit, which we can't do too much about. And our main 2 guys are not Swift and Dibben now. They are Holmes and Quintana. But we could possibly still get the points classification. We did get some good points earlier in that first sprint, so fingers crossed we should have enough in reserve to still win that green jersey. But Quintana, who knows if we can get a good lead. We could be in a chance for the yellow jersey. I doubt it because we've got to have too many guys that fail ultimately, if you like. But who knows? We're going to go for it. So here we go for another point. I think we're going to struggle to get it here. A little bit less energy this time, obviously, and we've been caught napping a little bit here. Obviously, narrow roads, which never really help, but we probably pushed a little bit too much there. Just need to conserve some energy before the end of this climb. It's very narrow, which obviously helps with defending. But another point for Quintana. Great stuff. Happy with that. Well, the one big benefit with this intermediate sprint is that nobody in this group is amongst the top sprinters. So anybody in the group behind? Third and second are in that next group. But there are 9 guys in this group, so nobody who can really take advantage. In that second group, obviously there's second and third. But there's only 6 points available maximum for those guys. Tell Holmes just to follow and then attack with a kilometre to go. We just want to take as many points off our opponents as we can. So 0.9 to go. We'll tell Holmes to attack. As we will with Quintana here. Not the most blue energy left, so we can't attack too much. But we've got a chance here if we just keep this up. Quintana's got a good chance of finishing well in this classification as well. But we'll let Holmes take the win. I'm quite happy with that. So, in the end, first and second in that intermediate sprint. We'll certainly take that. We'll just get Holmes to follow, not over-tire too much. So what about the guys in that next group? Who is it? So, Bonifacio, he gets 6 points. Who's the guy in second?
You have 30 seconds on the peloton.
Can't find him now. But we've got a 30-second lead, actually, out of that, us two. Interesting. I don't think they'll let us get away because it's only 39 seconds from Quintana back to the yellow jersey man.
30 seconds lead.
But an interesting situation we've got here. Another climb coming up. And yeah, this has been a decent stage for two of our guys. Again, really unfortunate that we've lost ground with Swift and Williams and Bjerg and Dibben. But that's just the way these things happen sometimes. Can't do too much about it. So here's the start of the last third-class climb of the Breizh Cup.
You'll have 2 kilometers before you reach the summit.
Nasty climb this, as you can see. And the guys have caught up behind. Not really too much of a surprise. Tell Holmes to continue without limit now.
Understood. I'll take it easy.
And we can get a maximum, I think I'm right in saying, we can get 7 points if we win the remaining climbs in total. Might be enough to win that classification, I doubt it, but you never know. It's certainly worth going for it here with Quintana. Not the most blue energy left, so we're going to use a little bit more of our feed. Remember, of course, there is still 20-odd kilometres to go, so important not to use too much. Holmes is still there. Getting to put a good turn of pace in, try and take points off our opponents. Vellens is really the one we want to make sure that doesn't get in there. Just blocking everybody off, including our teammate. I hope he doesn't do too well here, if you like. So 0.5, 0.4, 0.3. Time to put in a good turn of pace. Seems like we've got this covered unless anybody just shoots up the inside. Holmes is following Quintana though, so should be good for those points. And we'll just tell Holmes to follow and not overtire now. But another 2 points for Quintana. Another one there as well for Holmes. Get in! We're taking the top spot. Awesome. We've got the top spot of the climbers standing. So, if we win, if we get the next 2 climbs, we are guaranteed to win that classification. Excellent. Like I said before, I didn't think we got a chance, but clearly now we have. That's excellent news. We're actually struggling for energy now with Quintana slightly. So we've told him to go 50% on the pace, not exert himself too much. As you can see, a few of the guys have actually started to pull away a little bit here. But Sanchez not in the climbing battle, so I don't think we've got to worry too much, actually. A few of the guys have started to break a little. And Vellens is in that 5th group, so he might be getting a bit twitchy. Just checking Quintana's okay, he certainly is. Certainly worth going for if somebody blows up here at the top, but I think the gap's a little bit too much, personally. Holmes is probably our best shout as well for the stage win. Obviously get points for the stage win in the individual and team pro cycling rankings. We've used a lot of our feed though with Quintana. Oh, just look at this, it's battering this is. But I mean, you know, the top guy will get the point here, so it seems pretty pointless to attack particularly too much. But it'd be Sanchez who looks like he's going to take the point. Try and get that gap down as we come down the mountain. And then I think it's just one more climb, isn't it, after this? Yes, just one more climb until the end of the stage and the Breizh Cup. So Sanchez takes the points for Astana. Quintana riding very slowly as we've instructed him to do. When we get to the top of this, we'll just tell him to persist without limit. And I will see you guys for the final climb. So here we go then for the final climb of the day. And of course the final climb of the Breizh Cup as a whole. I believe Quintana should be okay to win the polka dot jersey. We'll have to see what comes of the green jersey. There's absolutely nothing we can do for Ben Swift now unless we win the stage, I suppose. But just 1 point available. At the top of this climb, obviously there's some points for the points classification for winning the stage. Not going to push ourselves too much, although I think we ought to put a turn of pace in with Holmes here. We've certainly got the feed to have a go here. But it's been a good tournament. I've enjoyed it. Amazing how quickly the guys managed to separate themselves at the end. Really shocked me. Not at the end, sorry. What am I on about? Amazing how the peloton got strung out in the middle of the stage. That's what I meant, not at the end. But 4 kilometres to go now. I think we can afford to use our blue feed with Marcus Holmes. Also use the rest of our feed with Quintana now.
And the final 400 meters that are almost flat.
But a really good tour. Really enjoyed it. It's definitely brought out some weaknesses in our team that I think we need to address potentially. Get our red gel out down everyone now. I mean, just look how far Williams is behind. Wow.
Okay, I'll consume a feed.
But 41 seconds behind the leader here. I really hope we can still win that points classification. It'd be a real shame if we couldn't.
Attacks in the closing kilometers.
We've got a good chance to finish well though here. Looks like the 4 guys at the front are going for it. One of those is going to win this Breizh Cup. Wellens is too far back now. Tell Quintana to put in a good turn of pace. Ain't going to hurt, is it? You have your blue gel, Dibben. Blue gel for you as well, and for Swift.
Hey, I'll consume a feed.
Oh, it's a tough climb, this. Let's go for it, though. Just tell Quintana to attack. I know he's completely out of energy, but oh well, it's worth going for. Same with Dibben.
Okay, I'll
Come on, Holmes.
acceleration.
A lot of guys have blown up, so it's a chance to finish well here. Get some points. There's the yellow jersey man. Quintana's found a little bit more energy. We run into 5th place. Come on, Holmes. Great stuff. Finished 5th in the stage. Don't know where Quintana ended up particularly. And we'll just have to see how we go. So we're going to finish the stage. Ben Swift a long way back, but hopefully he's still safe with that points classification. But a great finish there from Holmes, finishing the top 5. Quintana, I would guess, finishing the top 10. So a big plus there, and hopefully we've achieved our 2 aims of retaining the green jersey and also getting in the top 20 with Quintana. So the stage winner for the Sunweb team, not sure who won the stage in the end. It was Matthews, I believe, was only 13 seconds behind Wellens at the top of the general classification, so I'd guess obviously it was 38 seconds, I believe, that was the lead. So you'd think he'd overturn that, and you think he would have the yellow jersey at the end of this, we'll see. Yes, it is. Matthews wins the Breizh Cup. He gets the yellow jersey. We all wait in anticipation to see who has got the green and the polka dot jersey, as well, of course, as the young rider classification. But Matthews wins the Breizh Cup, gets the yellow jersey. Great for him. So, the green jersey, did we hold on? Yes, we did. Phew, thank God for that. I think that going for it in that first sprint with all of our riders really helped, and Ben Swift picks up his first jersey of the Pro Team career mode. And he gets the green jersey. Brilliant for the team, brilliant for Swift, and of course brilliant for both the individual and the team pro cycling rankings. And well, we also went for it in the final stage, and it seems it was enough. Daya Quintana wins the polka dot jersey. A very good tour for us, getting 2 of the classifications, a stage win as well. Top 5 in that stage. Pluses all round really there. And in the young rider classification, it is the Emirates rider. He had the lead at the end of the second stage in that classification, I believe. And it is McNulty who wins the young rider classification and the final jersey of the Breizh Cup.
Well done, lads. You rode a very good stage today. Finishing in the top 5, even though the stage didn't suit us, is extremely satisfying. We finish with the green jersey and the polka dot jersey. It's really pleasing, guys. This is a very good performance.
Seems like we've moved up a place in the Team Pro Cycling rankings. That's a big plus. Really happy with that. Holmes gets top 5. Quintana finishes up 9. Dibben ends up 15th. That's a big plus for him. Breizh ends up 35th. Swift 56th, from Williams all the way down in 110th. It was that 5 points we took on the mountain passes with Quintana that really made the difference. As you can see, also level at the top of the points classification for the stage with Holmes and with Quintana. So at the end of this tournament, Holmes managed to finish in the top 10 of the general classification in 8th place. Quintana just outside in 11th, and Dibben finishes up 13th. But it's Matthews who wins by 15 seconds to galloping at the end. It's really Swift who loses a lot of time at a lot of places. 39th place, but you can't have it all. Quintana wins the best climber classification with 5 points. Quite unbelievable really that only 5 points were needed to win the classification. Points classification, absolutely no worries in the end. We certainly shouldn't have had. And a big plus as well, 3 of our guys in the top 10. And of course, the winner of that classification as well. Young rider classification, Mikel Bierge finishes 2nd. Pretty good for him, but McNulty wins by quite a way. And we also win the team classification as well. That's excellent to see. And Van der Horn wins the compatibility classification. So individual pro cycling rankings, then Van Aert still leads that there. So 40 points for Matthews, that brings him up quite significantly. Another 10 points for Swift for winning the classification. 19 points for Quintana for the best climber classification and also for the points he got in the stage. And also 16 points for Marcus Holmes as well. So actually, 48 points moves up to 21st in the pro cycling rankings. Team Sunweb, who were just above us, also get 40 points. They move up to 16th in the rankings. A big plus for them and a big plus for us as well, staying in touch with the rest of the teams. And we're now in 21st place. So next up, we have got the Open Tour, 5 stages. And before we go into that in the next episode, we'll see who wins this year's Tour de France, as well as the Criterium du Divine, or I don't know how to pronounce that, and also the Euro Tour. But you'll see that next time. I appreciate it's probably been a bit of a longer episode than expected today, but nonetheless, I enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. I've been TIJ Game. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy that, comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for regular Tour de France 2020 Pro Team content. Content on a Tuesday, Thursday, and on a Saturday, all at 6 PM. Thank you for watching though, folks. I've been TIJ Gaming, and until the next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye for now.